You are tuned into Be Bold Radio, breaking barriers over lives daily. This is the place for you to learn strategies and tools to turn your business, your dreams, and your goals into a reality. Thanks for tuning in to Be Bold Radio. This is your host, Dymeata B, and you're listening to episode number 108. Happy New Year to all of you listening today. I am excited about what this new year has in store for all of us. And for those of you who are new to Be Bold Radio, I just want to welcome you. And I pray that this podcast is not just inspirational, but empowering to you, and that it provokes you to live a better lifestyle, to live a more healthier lifestyle, and to live a dream-fulfilled life. For those of you who don't know, I am an author and entrepreneur, and I am the host of Be Bold Radio. And today I want to talk about, the importance of setting boundaries in your life. And the reason why I'm really stressing on this, because it's probably more important now than moving forward, because we're at the beginning and the first quarter of the year. And I truly believe that it's important to set boundaries, specifically with family. It's so important for those of you listening. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't even have to be an entrepreneur. If you're in school, if you're pursuing your dreams, if you have goals that you are in pursuit of accomplishing right now, I'm urging you to set boundaries this year. And I have this feature on my phone, which many of you probably have an iPhone, the do not disturb button. And I'm being very transparent in this podcast because I know what God is about to do in my life. I already see what he's doing in my life. Last year, it was more of a, how can I put it? Last year, it was God removing. It wasn't even him removing. He was bringing distance in many relationships that I have. The relationships are still there, but God was like distancing, if that's a word, me from relationships. Most of my friends, I think I talked about this in a previous podcast, but most of my friends, my close friends, don't live in the same state as I do anymore. And most of my family is not in the same state. And although they're not here, I've still had to set up boundaries in my life. Jesus had to set boundaries in his life. Everybody couldn't be around him. Everybody couldn't touch him. Everybody couldn't, do certain things, and he's the greatest example of a man and a person setting boundaries, even with the disciples. And for me, I've learned that one of the stress relievers in my life has been setting boundaries. It has been really setting boundaries in my life. And I found myself being so stressed out and so pulled apart by everybody because I wanted everybody to know I'm here for you. I wanted to be reachable because I didn't want people thinking that I wasn't reachable, or that I wasn't answering their phone call, or that I wasn't, I don't keep in touch. And those who really are pure in heart and they know who I am, they know that's not my nature. But in order for me to get things done and to be fulfilled in my life, and for me to be happy, I had to set boundaries. And meaning, I'm going to explain that, meaning I can't respond to every text all day. Can't do it, won't do it. I just can't. I've had to set those boundaries. The do not disturb feature on my phone, it started off where, these anonymous phone numbers would be calling my phone. And I got tired of that. But then I noticed that when the feature was on, I wasn't as distracted by my phone as I would have been if the phone was ringing or if I heard it vibrating or something like that. And then I noticed, okay, well, most people were calling me during my work day, during the time that I'm working, and I work from home. And many people think, especially family, they think that because I work at home, I'm at home watching television and I have leisure time. I don't. I really don't. I don't cut the television on. Most days, I don't even cut the television on. Some days, just to unwind, I'll cut the television on in the evening, like after everybody's home, when the kids are getting ready for bed. My husband and I find a movie, but we rarely watch TV. And most of the times it's on the weekend. We watch sports, we watch football, basketball, different things like that. But a lot of people thought that because I'm at home, oh, she works from home. She's an entrepreneur. She can create her own hours. She can answer her phone when she wants to. But I've had to have certain discipline factors in place in order for me to be productive. There's a certain goal that I wanted to meet this year, especially after having my daughter, Malaya. I've had to really stick to goals. There's a certain amount of money that I wanted to make this year, a month. There's a certain amount of products that I wanted to launch a month. There were things that I needed to do this year or last year that required me to set the boundaries up. And that's what I'm explaining with you. Don't ever feel bad for setting boundaries in your life this year. Don't apologize for it neither. I love my mom. I love my father. But I believe that for so long, I've allowed them to suck up a lot of my time because I've always wanted to please my parents. But I've had to set up boundaries because I have my own life to live. I have my own family to raise. I have my own businesses to run. And I can't talk on the phone. I can't do all the things you want me to do. I can't just sit on the phone anymore. Do I check in? Do I talk? Do I keep in touch? Absolutely. But I've really had to be strict on myself. And you setting up boundaries is going to agitate some people. Some people are going to be angry at you. So I want you to be ready for that this year. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Today is kind of like off the cuff because I just felt led to talk about setting boundaries, and when you set boundaries, your life is less stressful because you have things in place, you're less distracted, and you're more focused. And setting boundaries is a selfish act. You have to be selfish at times because guess what? At the end of the day, this is your life. God wants you to be fulfilled, and you cannot fulfill this life and the desires that you have fulfilling everybody else's. Point blank, you cannot do it. And so I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to see your dreams manifested this year, set those boundaries up. No, you don't talk on the phone after a certain time. That's for your family. No, you do not answer text messages and talk on the phone during a certain time of the day. You're working. That's your productivity time. No, you cannot go to every birthday party, every shower, baby shower, bridal shower, every trip. You can't do it. You got money to save. If you're trying to buy a house or you're trying to, buy a new car or clean up your credit, whatever it is, you're going to have to say no more often this year. Set those boundaries up. And that's part of being bold. And, for me, I've had to do that. I'm like the rock of my family, but I cannot allow my family to stress me out. And if I want to see my businesses run successfully and I want to grow my businesses, I want to grow it in number with people. I need more workers. I need more volunteers. I need more, assistants. Then guess what? I need that time to be thinking, to be creative, to be innovative. And I cannot do that if everybody has a piece of me. And the same thing with you. Set those boundaries so that you can see the goals manifested this year so that you can see the product and the fruit of your labor this year. Everybody can't have a piece of you. Begin to set the boundaries up. Begin to say no more often. And stop fulfilling everybody else's desires and start fulfilling yours. Because that's God. God wants us to prosper. He said it. He wished above all things that we prosper, be in good health, even as our soul prospers. You can't be in good health stressed out because everybody has a piece of you. Let's get back in alignment, set those boundaries up, and get our focus back. Until next time, continue to believe, be original, and live your dreams. Are you a leader, entrepreneur, author, or speaker? Did you have a lifestyle change that you want to share with the world? Do you have some helpful health tips that could change our life? Well, be a guest on the Be Bold Radio Show. Email us at beboldradio@gmail.com. Again, that's beboldradio@gmail.com.